Artificial intelligence has not replaced us yet. That's why I am sitting here with Felix Brill, the Chief Investment Officer of VP Bank, to discuss the considerations behind the portfolio allocation. Felix, are the central banks in the US, the eurozone and Switzerland done with raising rates?
You know how the saying goes, never say never again. That holds not only true for James Bond, but also for central banks. However, having said that, I think in the short term, the likelihood that the ECB or the Fed will hike again is very, very low, because also their most recent data has come in very soft in terms of inflation, especially in the eurozone, but also in the US. And I think there was quite a relief among the members of both the ECB Council and the FOMC.
And in Switzerland?
The same holds true there. We have the luxury that we have already lower inflation in Switzerland, but now with the ECB and the Fed most likely done, there's no pressure on the SNB to deliver another rate hike.
The 10-year treasuries in the US have yielded 5% briefly. Is that a sign to buy bonds now? And if so, which maturities?
I mean, the 5%, that is quite a great number, isn't it? It's very symbolic, but I think it doesn't make such a difference. At least if you're talking about 4.8, 5 or 5.2%. The huge difference is if you have interest rates at 1% or at 5%. Well, the biggest increase, the biggest chunk of that increase has happened already last year. So we reacted on that. That's reflected in our portfolios. We don't see a reason to change that now. So we still like government bonds. And with regard to the yield curve, the positioning on the yield curve, we prefer a neutral stance.
VP Bank has been underweight equities for quite some time now. Can you give me one reason for this stance?
Only one reason? That's always a tough one, right? Well, I would say then it's actually the portfolio view. We have to look at equities not in an isolated view, just looking at is US equities or are European equities interesting? No, we have to compare that to other asset classes. And if we look not only at the return, but also at the risk of these asset classes, the conclusion is obvious. Money market and bonds are in the lead.
Thank you, Felix. And that concludes our review of the questions. Please click us again next time. Thank you and goodbye.